McAfee show yesterday that he thinks it's scary that he thinks you're even better than last year. In what areas did you think you needed the most improvement coming off last season, and where do you think those biggest differences are?
I didn't have like a specific, target or something that I wanted to get better at in particular. I just wanted to just continue to elevate my game and just keep producing. And like I said, I always talk to y'all about the film. It's more so about making my film look good. I feel like I'm a pretty well-rounded receiver. I feel like I can do a lot of things well. So I just wanted to just keep pushing and keep building on what I've done and what I did this past year, because I feel like we did a lot, collectively as an offense, and obviously I'm a big part of the offense. So for me, it was just making the film look better and just making myself as presentable as possible. Continuing to, I guess, one thing is continuing to keep producing with the coverage that we're starting to get, and being a reliable option for him, just kind of regardless of whatever they're doing out there. So that was mainly, my mindset is to continue to be great regardless of what they do to try to stop me.
Was there something special about the move you had when you caught it and turned it into I forgot how many yards it was, but was that different for you, or just usually there's too many guys around you to make that kind of move?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a thing that I wanted. Obviously, I think I had either led the league or was second in the league in YAC last year, so that was something that I wanted to continue to improve upon. But the opportunities, just based off where people are, I think I was pretty open catching the ball in that, just based off of us kind of catching them off guard with the cadence. And they kind of got lost in their coverage as far as who was, responsibility it was to take me over in the middle of the field. So anytime I feel like there's a vacancy, I feel like you have a better opportunity to do that because, you can kind of see the field a little bit better. That, and I watched probably 25 minutes worth of Lamar Jackson highlights before the game too. So that's not a joke either. I'm being dead serious. I really did. At the house, had a little bit of time, so I said, I was watching the game when they played the Raiders, and I was like, actually not the Raiders. Who they just played?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs game. Yeah, I was like, if he can do that, I should be able to do half of what he's doing out there as far as making people miss. So I've had that in my mind a little bit and use that as motivation.
Pick up anything you could use at the line of scrimmage?
I mean, it don't really work as much at the line because he's a big one-cut guy. He stick that foot in the ground and he's decisive the way he does it. Off the line is, you can go one cut sometimes, but for the most part, it's a little bit more methodical with that. So I'll stay in my book for that, and with the ball in my hand, I'll get in his book.
I actually asked Curtis Haggins who taught you that, and he said your cousin Eric taught you that move.
I wouldn't say he. I was actually just texting him right now too, letting him know how expensive these tickets are because he's trying to get one. Yeah, he definitely was one of the first ones I seen doing it, but I don't know if he taught me that. I see he definitely has some moves though.
Davante, what does playing in the Bay Area mean to you?
I mean, it's just another great opportunity to go, hopefully show out for my family in person, because obviously it's tough to get a large quantity of them out here for each game. So being back home, getting a big welcome home shout from my people, being able to put a show on for them. I always try to playing at Fresno. I had a bunch of opportunities, so it was kind of normal at that point getting everybody down there for the weekend. But having a Sunday night opportunity. Last time we were out there for Sunday night, we played a Sunday night last year, right? Thursday night last year. Sunday night was the year before that. Yeah, we got killed and didn't have a great showing. So hopefully we can go out there this Sunday and change that.
Davante, when you guys are on the road, loud crowd and all that, how much does the noise, if at all, affect you guys on the perimeter, or is it not really a factor?
Not so much. I feel like it's more so for the front, hearing cadences and stuff like that, and the communication. We use mainly signals anyway, so at home we can kind of use our verbals and use that to our advantage, but when we're on the road, it's just signaling, and, for the most part, it doesn't really throw me off. It may be different for those guys, 12 and the backs and the O-line.
Did it seem like Detroit's safeties were especially deep in this last game, and do you think that that's going to be the norm, or do you think they just play it especially deep?
Well, they played especially deep. I think they kind of copied. I mean, it's a copycat league, so you see what one team's doing. They have a success doing something against you, then next week you can count on another team doing it. Unless you come across certain teams where I don't expect necessarily the Niners to do it, because when you play against like a Colt defense or like Seattle back in the day, they're not going to play just a bunch of cloud to stop a guy. They're going to stick to their guns and say that their scheme will be able to take care of whatever you can do. So playing it this week, I'm not expecting quite as much. I'm sure there'll be some too high looks, but dropping 8 like that it's not going to go too well for you either way. I mean, obviously they saw something and they liked it, as far as what they saw in the Saints film, but hopefully this week, we can get some one-on-one opportunities and get out there and go see what it's like.
You've played in a lot of big games. What does a big game feel like? If it's week 3 of the regular season, is that a big game, or does it feel different at all, or is it just another Sunday for you guys?
No, I mean, big games are. When you mention that, it's more so to raise the enthusiasm, the awareness, the attention to detail for, I feel like, younger guys. For me, I try to treat them all like they're big games. The biggest game is the game that you're currently in. So for me, I mean, I'm gonna play this game just how I play the Super Bowl. It's gonna be the same for me as far as intensity. So I don't look at it much different. But for certain guys, if your mind isn't all the way right, to have that reminder, it can be useful sometimes. But for me, I just go, get out there and play just like any other game.
After I think it was the Week 17 Bears game last year, you said Daphne was one of the most versatile guys you've been around.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the game back, he's throwing guys around like Mercedes out there. What has he brought to your room, not your room, but the offense since he's kind of gotten settled in here?
He's done a lot of good things for us, man. He's somebody that can, we can rely on him, like you said, to go and block what would usually be a mismatch size-wise. I think he packs a punch. I call him Charles Barkley because he kind of built like him a little bit. It's like a thicker guy, but he's kind of compact. But he pack a decent punch for a younger guy, and then he's really athletic too. He's, I think, much more athletic than people give him credit for. Great hands, pretty good speed too for a guy with decent weight on him. So adds a lot to keep defenses honest as well. Obviously we're not scheming up a ton of plays for him, but when his number's called, he definitely answers.
I think it's only 2 games, but have you noticed anything about when you guys are in the red zone, the team's doing anything especially different to try to take you away down there?
Yeah, they're cheating. It's been a lot of doubles. I mean, I don't think I've gotten a single in the red zone yet, and the one that was kind of like that was the one where I think Quez got the ball thrown to him at the goal line, but the guy over me was way outside leverage, so I already knew if I were to go inside, there'd be somebody in there waiting on me anyway, just based off of the leverage. So, I mean, you're going to have to find a way to get in either way. They're definitely going to be doing that a lot more. It's not going to be as easy, but, last year they did the same thing too. So we'll find ways to definitely get me in there.
Because you haven't gone 3 straight games without a touchdown in like 2 years. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping we can go another year and keep that same separation in between.
So it's almost better for you to face like an all-pro corner.
Correct.
Right?
I mean, that's what, but at the same time, I kind of expected, like I told y'all before with New Orleans, I was looking forward to that matchup because I'm like, finally, I'm going to get a team that trusts their guy to just go out there and go man-to-man. And that wasn't the case in that game either. It was too high the entire time. Had a few man looks, but it was 2-man. So at the end of the day, it's still a lot of help out there. So yeah, playing against a good guy, and then the same thing happened with the Rams in the playoff game. It was probably 3 or 4 reps of man coverage in that game. Just flat out man, and I was expecting to have some one-on-one opportunities there too. So talked to Barry about that, and I was like, "What was going on with that, man?" He's like, "Yeah, he mentioned something about wanting some one-on-one opportunities, but I got a game to win either way. I gotta coach up and do what I got to do." So, you would think that the clout of the corner would change something, but it hasn't so far, so we'll see.
So what is the best way to cover you?
I don't know, man. I guess the way people have been trying to do it, I mean, that's the idea, is to put more people or to, roll coverage that way to kind of take the quarterback's mind off of, forcing the ball over there. That'd be what I would do. Put a bunch of people, and then that's why we got a bunch of other guys that can go out there and make plays too.
I don't recall, when they had Sherman, did they do a lot of one-on-one with you, or man-to-man?
Well, it was not really man. They played one high, but it wasn't really man. I think I had a couple of shots at it. The bomb that we had at the end of that NFC champion, which was all for nothing. We know that, but had one there. A couple other opportunities, but not a whole lot of them.
That cover 3 stuff.
Yeah, cover 3, that Colt coverage, the special player waiting, in the middle of the field too. So it's yeah, we can't use it as an excuse though. Still got to go out there and find a way to be productive.
There's only so many passes to go around, but as a leader in your receiver room, do you say anything to a guy like Allen when you go the whole game and not even getting a target, or is it just he's Allen, he'll be fine, like I can leave him alone? What's your role there?
It's a little bit of both. Just reminding these guys that that's what I went through. Same thing. My first year. Obviously, it's not Allen's first year, but my first year, I went the month of December with like 1 catch. So it happens. So just keep running routes to win and keep building that trust with the quarterback, and that's all you really can do. Control what you can control. You can't throw yourself the ball. I can't throw myself the ball now, obviously, but there's conversations you can have, talking to 12 about it. About different things. It's not about complaining about not getting the ball, but just, constructive conversations of ways that we can continue to be, progressive as offense and figure out how to keep moving the ball. Because nobody said force feed me, but obviously I'm going to, see a lot of looks, and I just tell them keep running routes and keep being consistent, and that's what will instill that trust in the quarterback that, hey, I'm going to be here, time after time ready. And that's really how I know. Aaron mentioned it to you guys a few times that's kind of how our thing got going. He would go back to the film and see that I was always open, and he would be like, "Oh wow, so this dude is always doing this. Like he's running every route to win," and that's what lets him know. Okay, 3rd and 8, Tay looks like he's doubled over there. I'm gonna look over here to Laz, or I'm gonna look to Quez because I know where he's gonna be. I know he's gonna beat that guy because we've had this look, however many times. So just being able to trust your wideout that he's gonna be there. Not that 12 doesn't. But I just remind them that that's really the most important piece, is him knowing that you're going to try to win on every single route. Because believe it or not, I don't know why, but there are wideouts that don't try to win on every route. So as long as you're running every route to win, that's what will continue to build that and give you more opportunities.
Anything else in here? Sarah, go ahead on Zoom.
Hey Davante, talking about MVS, I know there was a lot of talk during training camp of his focus, and he just came in with a different focus. That hasn't really turned into production in the first 2 games, and Aaron actually talked about how he missed a couple throws to him. What have you seen from Wes, and do you think he's due for a breakout game?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like this year more than any, I don't know if it's how we started off or what, but everybody's freaking out way more than what they have in the past. I feel like it's not very many times where going into week 3, people are freaking out trying to, suggest that somebody's due for a breakout game or not. It's still early in the season. Obviously having 0 catches, 0 yards, we're just looking for him to bounce back and be, ready for whatever opportunities come his way. Breakout games, you can't really, unless you're seeing a ton of targets, you can't really do much about that. You just got to do the best with what's the opportunities you're given and, capitalize on those. And he's definitely due for that. So, he just continues to do what he's been doing. It'll come.